Hey guys, this is another run of another Novos tournament. Thanks to Novos to host this tournament. And yeah, let's jump into it. So here I'm playing against G-Sky Energy. I made a couple of changes in the deck. I was kind of suffering against aggro decks like G-Sky Energy. And I decided to use 2 Tox Deluges in the main deck. And instead of using the the Primeval tutor package, I thought that it was not necessary, and I was boarding it out a lot of times. This Vaccine Bubble in the main deck too, I think is very good against a lot of decks. It's good against Affinity. I was losing a lot to Affinity, so I just decided to use 4 main deck Bubble. And it's good against Mono Black Stompy and Mono Red Stompy. Of course, it's good against Show and Tell too, but it was not the intention. And it has some texts against Energy and against Esper Temple. Against Energy, the Bubble, there is I forgot the name of the card, but there is a card. There is a dinosaur in the deck, a red dinosaur, that the Bubble stops the dinosaur from casting. But yeah, I decided to use 2 Tox Deluges, 4 Vaccine Bubble, and 1 Demonic Tutor. So Demonic Tutor is very good in this deck. It's kind of a better Sylvan Scry, because you can tutor your lands or you can tutor your Silver Bullets, like the Tox Deluges. So it's like we have 3 Tox Deluges against aggro decks. And of course you can tutor your lands. We only have 1 Testament stage now and 1 Dark Depth. So if you draw like a Testament stage, you can tutor for the Dark Depths, or if you draw a Crop Rotation, you have 2 tutors now. But a lot of times you don't want to tutor for Dark Depths, you just tutor for a different land like Bassie or Strip Mine. Okay, so here I was actually not paying attention to the game, but yeah, I had to to pop a lot of Vaccine Bubble because it's not that good against this deck, and I need to find cards. And yeah, here the main deck Tox Deluge is great. And yeah, we need to find another land to play the Ice Steel Explorer. So now we are dying. We need action. We don't need lands anymore. Unfortunately, our opponent had the removal for the Ice Steel. Energy plays a lot of removal, so you gotta play a lot of threats and hope that one of them stick on the battlefield to win. Here I can start getting life with Deathrite Shaman. Yeah, here there's no way to come back. They're gonna remove a creature and transform the Ajani. I tried to stop them from playing lands, but yeah, they had a lot of lands there, so it didn't work. I like to sideboard out the bubbles. I don't like Dismember on this matchup. There is already 5 sweepers, so I don't think it's necessary. I decided to bring some Forces Vigor too. It's kind of okay against them. There's sometimes that I bring, sometimes that I don't. Depends on the list. So this hand, there is no action, but we got the strip mine, we got the exploration, and we got a cycling land. So I think actually this is a good hand. I mean, not a great hand, a good one. We can survey, we can draw from the cycle land. There's a lot of things that we can do here. Yeah, crop rotation is great actually. We can crop rotation for Bassinger and strip mine them every turn. I don't remember if that's what I do here, but it's. I love this land. I love Bassinger. I think it was a great inclusion to the deck. Yeah, I decided to wait for the Bassinger. That's why I didn't strip mine them. And I mean, it's nice to have the crop rotation up because if they place, I don't remember if they at least have strip mine. I think they don't have. But in other matchups, it's nice to leave crop rotation up if they try to strip mine you. Now we can strip mine them every turn, but like we have nothing going on, so we need action too. I think last turn I could not like activate Bassinger on strip mine and use it. That's why I decided to wait a turn. Okay, so this is strange because like opponent didn't play anything and they have 3 cards in hand. So they must have removal. Yeah, so I decided to use the land because they are very likely to have removal, so I don't want to lose my creature. And I waited in the upkeep because I was waiting to see if they are gonna fetch or not before blowing their land. There's no reason why to do it in my turn. So they didn't crack the fetch, so there's a strange situation because I need to double strip mine them if I want to remove their land. And I am dying. So like this is a strange situation. I could like crop rotation for strip mine them, and then like use the bassinet to strip mine them again. But I'm dying. Yeah, I wanna then to use their land. I think I'm gonna play Warzone. Yeah, I definitely gonna play Warzone now because they use the tap land. But if they did a untap land, I think I just crop rotation for strip mine and bassin and use the bassin say land. And this was a strange stop. Like I was thinking about surgical there. And they must have drilled the surgical in the other turn because they could have used surgical in my strip mine before, but they didn't, so they must have drew it like in this turn. So now I use the crop rotation to get my to save my one strip mine from surgical, and I just use it because I'm dying. I need to. Yeah, now I can block with the strip mine and use it. Yeah, my strip mine plan didn't work because they are drawing. They are they have drawn a lot of lands. But fortunately, they didn't draw any creatures, so I'm not. I not. I could be in a worse shape here. There's a. There has been a lot of time since they have only these three creatures in play, and if they drew one creature, I'm fucked because their cat is gonna fly at me. So here I decide to like try to play to win and not play to not lose. Like I wanna continue deny their land and do damage to him. I have a Deathright Shaman, so I can block with it too. I don't wanna block with it. I wanna start to gain life with Deathright Shaman, but it is what it is. So unfortunately they had another land, Now they can fly a creature, and the game got very hard now. I was thinking now, oh, I think I lost. I don't remember if I used the strip mine here because I want to have creatures to block. Yeah, I think I don't use this strip mine here because there's a lot of creatures coming next turn. I was thinking what I need to draw here to continue in the game. And one of the draws is like crop rotation. I can crop rotation for Blast Zone or the Blast Zone. If I draw IC2 Explorer, I don't think I will have the mana to activate the Blast Zone. If I mill the Blast Zone. Holy shit. I didn't remember that I used the strip mine here. Yeah, I must have been pretty afraid from their hand, from drawing more creatures. Yeah, I can block with Shaman and gain 2 life too, so I'm actually at 5 life. So here I cannot attack because they can block with a cat and transform a Jenny. And yeah, I need to leave blockers too. I was thinking here about getting the Blast Zone or getting the land that gains life. But like I need to get the Blast Zone. There's no way I get the land that gains life and I win this game. I need to get pretty lucky in the next draw. If I do that route. Here I can kill the Guide of Souls. I will lose a lot of stuffs, but I will not die. Yeah, I had a lot of good talking with my opponents during the match and after the match too. It was great playing with Saxy Taxi. So I need to kill Voice of Victor and since Shaman will die anyway, we are gonna block the 2-1 with Shaman. So we are alive. Holy shit. 1 life. And we drew another micro spawn. Nice. So now I'm thinking, how can I lose this game? And should I use the micro spawn? Should I use the Bassing engine? Oh, yeah, I just have little. Oh. I don't like bringing the Dismember in this matchup, but yeah, with this list there's only 3 cards that we really need in the sideboard. That's Cunning Hito. The other ones are like kind of okay. And we need to get the bubble out, so I mean we could let one bubble in the deck, but yeah. So next turn we can Microspell for a Strip Mine, and then we have 2 Strip Mines, which is great. So here is a strange situation. They have Denek, and they have Surgical Extraction in their deck, and they have another Graveyard Hate. Denek is good against my deck because of Warzone, but that's it. Unfortunate for them, if they have a Denek in play, they can't use Surgical, so I don't have to be afraid of Surgical. So here they didn't play a land, so I'm in a great shape. I don't need to play Microspawn now. I can wait for like kick Microspawn. Yeah, I'm not against a lot of pressure, so I can, yeah. Since I have Ice Chill for next turn, I don't need to wait for next turn to kick the Microspawn. I can just play it and use Ice Chill on the next turn. I was thinking here, how can I lose this game? And I think the only way that they can win now is like if if they if they if Danik dies and they have Surgical on my Strip Mine, and even then it's very hard. But I was thinking if they attack with Danik, I'm not gonna block because that's the only way I can lose, like, right? The Surgical on the Strip Mine. There's no other way, I think. So here I play all my Strip Mines, and I don't remember if I going to attack now. I think I'm not gonna bother attacking. Yeah, I don't want them to block with Danek. That's why I don't attack, because the only way I can lose is with Surgical. No, like, yeah. Don't need to play in a hurry. Don't need to win quickly. In this position, there's no way. It's too hard for them now. Now I can just like find a lot of creatures or the depths combo. I don't need to attack, actually. Yeah, now I can draw a million cards per turn. Yeah, there's no way. GG's. Great games. Okay, so now we are up against Novos, the tournament hosted himself. And that was the only show and tell list from this tournament. And our deck's very good against show and tell. Even better now because of the Bubbles main deck. But again, I didn't put the Bubbles thinking in show and tell. I put the Bubbles thinking in Affinite, Mono Black Scam, and Mono Red Stompy. So against show and tell, I want a strong hand. I want to mulligan a lot. I want to either bubble or like a turn 2 Horizon. And this is a very strong hand. I just thinking what I should bottom here. We can do like turn 1 Shaman, turn 2 Crop Rotation for Tomb, and Strip Mine them twice. I actually could have like Strip Mine them first and remove their land from the... It would have been better. But at this point, I doubt it will matter. So here I can use the Rumble to try to find the bubble. My mana is pretty awkward here because we don't have green, so we cannot play Ice Steel Explorer yet. And if I use Shaman now, I will lose a mana from the Tomb, probably. So yeah, I decide to do the second main phase. Yeah, they played correctly to send back their Ancient Tomb. Fortunately for us, they don't have Omniscience, which is the card that we are scared. We at this point we don't care that much for Atraxa. If it had come earlier, we would be in a bad shape. But we have a lot of outs for Atraxa here. We can just mill the combo, or draw Crop Rotation, Demonic Tutor. We even have the line to like Blast Zone the Atraxa. It's kind of hard. You need a lot of mana to do that. Like we can up 4 counters now in the Blast Zone. But we need 6 counters. It's a lot of counters. And they are going to continue play lanes, so we need to strip mine them. Instead of upping the blast zone, I think. Novos did a very good line here to Veil of Summer to play the Chromox. It's very important for him to have the Chromox in play, because I cannot remove them. Yeah, I'm thinking about the bubble, because like we need to find the Dark Depths fast, or else we die in 2 turns. Yeah, I think I did a misplay in this game. I think I should have used the Bojuka Bog, because they can play Dig through time. I was thinking about that, but I decided to draw more cards, and I think that was a mistake. I should have used the Bojuka Bog here. Yeah, now we drew the combo. Yeah, and I did. Yeah, I actually did another mistake here. I should have played the Dark Depths. Instead of the Bojuka Bog. I must have thought that I would lose anyway if they have Horror, but I don't know. Yeah, I did pretty bad in this game actually. I did 2 mistakes. I should have the Dark Depths in play right now. Oh yeah, I didn't realize that I didn't have the Dark Depths. Holy shit, yeah. Yeah, that was bad. So here I like to cut a land because we have a lot of cards to bring in. Yeah, I'm pondering about the Demonic Tutor versus Rambo, because we need a lot of green for Force of Vigor. But Tutor is a good card in this matchup, so I decided to let Tutor in. So here is a great hand, holy shit. We have the Exploration, and we have the Flute. They can still like remove the Flute, so we need to draw more action. If they didn't crack the delta, I would name delta. But yeah, they know what's going on, so they crack the delta, so I cannot name it. Okay, so tutor was a great draw, but unfortunately we don't have black. So yeah. But we can tutor next turn. We can tutor for depths, or we can tutor for a steal or something like that. They have like 4 fragments of reality in their deck right now, so depths is not as good. They can just remove it for free. It's 1 mana. We actually don't have a strip mine yet, so we need to get a strip mine and get the strip engine. I think I just go for ice steel here to try to find a strip mine. I don't remember. Oh, maybe the war is on. Yeah, ice steel is better because we can just play it. The war is on. We need to wait until the second main phase to play the land, so it can't get removed. Now I'm thinking if like I hold the bubble in hand or I play it. Like if I play it, they know that they cannot combo and they will save Valve Summer or Show and Tell for Traxa. If they didn't know bubble was in my hand or the battlefield, they would have played Show and Tell for Omniscience, and I could like Garen, but I don't know because Bubble is very good in play. They cannot play Chromox, and it's very relevant. Like it's very important for them to play the Chromox, so it's very good for me to have Bubble in play, even though it kind of makes my opponent know what they need to play around. But I think it's good to have the bubble in play. And now, if we wanna use the Force of Vigor, we need to crack the bubble, or else the bubble gonna counter the Force of Vigor. So we have a Dark Depth in play. I mean, we have a Testament Stage in play. We can tutor for the Depth. They have already used 2 fragments of reality. We could have crop rotation for Bojuka Bog too, but I don't think it's a good play. They have so much mana. They actually can just play the Show and Tell now, if they drew it. Oh no, they need 1 more lane to play the Show and Tell. Yeah, so here they are tapped out, so I just go for the Depths combo. So we have Exploration again, great. We don't have a turn 1 Disruptor Flute, but Usually show and tell it's kind of a slow combo, so we are not so desperate to play the flute. But yeah, if they have like tomb and show and tell, we are fucked. Yeah, they play the Chromox before I can play the bubble. I think it's correct. But the downside of doing that is that I can now force off Vigor the Chromox, but I think it's correct to play the Chromox. It's very hard matchup for them. Like, they have so much that they need to play around. So since they Chromox for Fragment of Reality, I was thinking that they would have another one in hand. Crop Rotation actually was a great draw, so now we can play Warzone and Flute. Otherwise we could not play both. We may be able to even play Ice 2. Oh, of course, we need to play the Strip Mine. We don't have Strip Mine yet, yeah. That's true. So here I decide to play the Flute on their upkeep, so they cannot use their white mana at the end of my turn. They need to do it in their turn, making harder for show and tell. And now we have our engine unlocked. They need to remove like Warzone and Flute, or else you will not have land. So we are up against Moonstomp this time, and fortunately we are on the play, so we need to mulligan until we find a bubble. We found it, and yeah, that's a very strange matchup. Like, play draw is very, very important here. If they turn one Chalice of the Void, I'm fucked, because I cannot pay my bubbles, but if they don't, I can have one bubble in play, and that's very strong. And yeah, that's the reason I put the bubble in the deck. I think it's very good in the meta right now. And I don't think it's that good against Necro Reanimator, actually. It was another reason for the bubble. I actually don't know. It's very strange. I don't like that matchup, actually. Because the bubble can win you the game, but like the bubble can do nothing too. So sometimes you play the bubble and you lose anyway. And sometimes you play the bubble and you win. I don't. There's so many ways that deck can combo. Like, bubble stops Besiege, stops Chromox, and stops the Lenda trigger. But like, if they play turn 1 Elenda, even if I stop the Elenda trigger, I just lost the game. There's no way. So now they played Chalice of the Void. But I have my I think I'm just gonna get a land here so I can strip them every turn. Like, I'm thinking here, if they strip me, like, if they don't strip me, it's better for me to get a strip mine. But if they strip me, oh, actually, anyway, if they strip me, I cannot play Horizon. What the fuck I'm talking about? Oh yeah, but yeah, I decided about strip mine and ancient tomb. But if I had chosen the tomb, they would have to strip mine the tomb, and not the tomb, the overgrown, the the black green land. Oh no, actually, I not yeah, I'm not gonna play it this turn. It's only next turn. So here, fortunately, they didn't have the Blood Moon. If they had Blood Moon in that turn, I don't think I'm winning the game. Chalice plus Blood Moon is very tough for this deck to beat. Now they cannot play Fury because I have a bubble. Bubble is great in this matchup. Their removal spell is like Fury and Pyrokinesis. They have Pyrogoth and Bombardiers too, but yeah, so now I could have removed the Bombardiers, but I think it's just better to play two Ice 2 Explorers and have a lot of lands. So we have a lot of cards for this matchup. We respect it a lot. We have 3 Dismembers and 3 Force of Vigor. On the play, Bubble is very good, but on the draw, it's kind of bad. Because it's pretty common for them to do a turn 1 Chalice. So it's pretty reasonable to cut the bubbles on the play and bring them on the draw, actually. Yeah, I don't like cutting Demonic Tutor because like I can Demonic Tutor for depths and kill the Magus of the Moon with Dismember. But on the other hand, Demonic Tutor is a black card, so I wanna fetch for forests. And I wanna have a lot of green cards in my deck for Force of Vigor. So it's kind of tough decisions. It's not that tough, it's just little things that you gotta think. So here we have a great hand if they don't have Chalice of the Void. This is actually a tough mulligan choice. I think I just mulligan this because like I think we gotta respect the Chalice. We cannot keep a 7 hand without like Force of Vigor. Like if they play Chalice with this hand, I just die. So yeah, I decide to unfortunately mulligan that great hand. And well, we got the exploration and Force of Vigor, so this is great. Unfortunately, we have Bassin C, and we don't have a basic forest, so it will come to play Tap It, which is pretty bad, but we have the Force of Vigor. That's the most important card in the matchup. They didn't have turn 1 Chalice, so that hand would be amazing actually, but but like yeah. So this was a great draw, the Tomb. Now we can Micro-Spell. Micro-Spell is great in this matchup. Anyway, we turn 2 Micro-Spell, Strip Mine them. They kept a pretty bad hand, but they need to mulligan to 5. Because they did nothing on turn 2, so it's a very strange hand. So here I think I just gonna Force of Vigor the flute. Because I have my strip engine going. Yeah, Micro-Spell find the strip mine is so good. I think Micro-Spell is so good in this deck. We have 7 tutor for lands with Micro-Spell, Demonic Tutor and Crop Rotation. Is a reasonable amount of tutors. GG's. I don't remember what this opponent was playing actually. Oh, we are playing against Necro Reanimator, yeah. Remember now. Yeah, with this list, like a turn 1 attracts a turn 1 Elender on the draw is like impossible to beat. Pretty much. I was thinking about putting white in the deck for Swords to Plowshares, so I can have like, instead of 4 bubbles, I can have 4 Swords to Plowshare in the main deck, and then I don't need Toxic Deluge too. But like, it's tough. It's very tough to build with white the deck, because your matchup against Energy is worse because you don't have Cooling Ritual, which is a very important card in the matchup. And it's very hard to have double white for Wraith of the Skies, which is a necessary. Which, if you play white, you need to play that card because you need to respect Affinity, I think. Or you can just lose to Affinity too, but I don't know. And like, Wraith of the Sky sometimes is not enough against Energy. It's tough. But the double white is very hard. And like, I was using Dismember too, but Dismember without black in the deck is tough because you always need to pay for life, which is a lot, and you need double white, so you are already paying a lot of life. But yeah, I was trying to play with white, to build a version with white. Actually, if we drew a black source here, we could Toxic Deluge for 7 and stay alive. Not in this turn, the other turn. Now it's too late. I think if we had like Mox Diamonds, we could play white. Because right now, our mana base is actually not that good. We have like, in this list, we have 14 green source, which is not a lot. I mean, 14 plus the shamans, but you need green to play the shaman, so if we had Mox Diamond, would need to play that many fetch lands too. We could play more Yavimayas. But like, I think to play white, we needed like Mox Diamond or Caracas, like a big reason to play white. Because the difficulty of building this deck right now is that we need a lot of green source, or else we cannot play the game. But if we have a lot of green source, we don't have that much utility lands, which is bad. That's why I'm only running one Testament stage and one Dark Depths. But I would like to play 2 Testament stage at least, but I could not find spot for them. I'm running 27 lands. I think 28 is a lot if you don't have like one ring or some shit like that. I mean, you could run 28 with Field of the Dead, another bad land, let's say, another tap land. But with good lands, I think 27, it's a good number. But yeah, if we had Mox Diamond, it would be, holy shit, it would be another world. I mean, we don't even need like Mox Diamond. We could have just like the fucking Maze of it. It would be, holy shit, so much better. This matchup would be very different. If you had Caracas, then holy shit. Like, we can just bounce the lander. It's insane. I mean, we don't even need like those busted cards. We could have just fucking Dried Arbor, man. Holy shit, Dried Arbor would be so fucking good. It would make Green Sun's Init playable, which is a great card. Then we can run 28 lands, and we don't need to play Shaman anymore. We just run Green Sun's Init. And now we can have like one Sylvan Safekeeper as a tutor target. And in the late game, Green Sun's Init, it's not a ramp anymore. It's a strip mine engine. We could like run one cub just to tutor it, or 2 cubs. Cubs is great. So here I decide what the fuck I'm gonna do. We have like a lot of options. We can play 2 bubbles and pray, or we can wait to play flute, or we can play Thorn. If we play Thorn turn 1, they are not combo turn 1, but like, how am I gonna deploy all these cards if I play Thorn turn 1? It's kind of hard. I'm gonna lose a lot of life. Yes, I'll decide to just play 2 bubbles and pray. And now, unfortunately, I will need to play Rumble in my turn and play a blind flute, or don't play Rumble. I actually think the right decision here is to not play Rumble. Because like, if I play Rumble and then play Thor, they can just Entomb reanimate and I'm dead. But like, that's the thing with this matchup. Like, they can always win if they have the right cards. It's tough, you know. Like, I think this turn should be a Tuxis. I'm not liking this turn anymore. Yeah, if this turn was a Tuxis, then holy shit, I can Tuxis and flute them. It's way better. And now I need to either blind flute or turn. Yeah, it's a pretty bad spot actually. Yeah, I think actually it was a misplay. I think the right thing to do was to play nothing, just pass the turn. Just play the tap land and pass the turn. Yeah, that was the right thing to do. So I don't lose to Entomb Reanimate and I don't lose to Soaring either. Now we just lost because we don't have a way to remove Atraxa from the game. We don't have Caracas or Sword Splashes. We could like draw into the combo, but we are no way near that. Yeah, we would like to play the flute, but our turn is fucking us, actually. We need to crop rotation for like Despen stage and hope to draw Dark Depths, which is a pretty low chance, actually. Yeah, and here we lost. GG's. Alright, we are playing against Esper Temple now, which I don't think is a very good matchup. I think it's kind of even. I don't know, because like if they play a really early archaeologist, it can just win the game. They draw so many cards.
I read nearly the entire library.
Yeah. She had a pretty good draw.
This is the
with turn 1 Archaeologist and turn 2 Tamil flip it. But fortunately we have the Blast Zone, so we are not in a rush to kill the Tamil. But yes, we would like to kill the Archaeologist as fast as possible. Here I want to crop rotation to find a strip mine to kill that fetch land, but like she could have force of negation and then I just lose the game. So it's kind of strange. So yeah, I tested the force with Ramble first. So now I think I can do the... I mean, if I do this, the strip mine, I mean, I'm never gonna use this Blast Zone. It's gonna take forever. So I decided to not use the crop rotation to get a strip mine, yeah. Because I need to use this Blast Zone like as fast as possible. So yeah, I would love to use the crop rotation and removing the fetch land from the game, but I mean, at least if she have a strip mine now, I can protect my land with crop rotation. Yeah, the games that Esper players draw a lot of cards with the Archaeologist, the best way you can win is like killing their creatures and try to strip them out of the game. But sometimes kind of tough, especially if they have the frog, because you cannot Blast Zone frog and the Archaeologists at the same time. Fortunately for us, she didn't have frog here. If she had frog here, it would be a tough situation. I think I would be pressured to Tox Deluge, which is not good because it does not kill Tamil. So in the following turn I would have to use Blast Zone anyway. So here I can use the Blast Zone before they attack.
I've learned enough. No, no! I'm late for class!
So here I can use yeah, I cannot actually. I can either Bojuka Bog or use Tox Deluge. I cannot do both. And I wanna wait for her to play Lurus to use the Tox Deluge. And I will hope she doesn't draw Brainstorm to transform the Tamil. So here she decided to go like all-in. So fortunately we have the Tox Deluge in hand. I decided like what I wanna do this turn if I wanna use this crop rotation. Or go double shaman. So now we can start strip mine. We can use ice steel. Oh yeah, I was pondering why I did that. It's because I wanna Bojuka Bog her. That's why I didn't did the opposite. Like I could have play ice steel and then play a forest and then crop rotation the forest for strip mine. Actually, I could have done that anyway because I had one more land drop. Yeah, I think it would be better to do that way. But yeah, the most important thing that it was to Bojuka Bog her graveyard, because the only way that she could like go back in the game is like a frog or treasure cruise. But even frog is not that. It would not be that good in that spot because I had the blast zone. So I don't like very much the cooling rituals in this
I've
matchup,
read nearly the entire library.
but I dislike Dismember even more. Like cooling ritual is good, but they have force of negation, so it's a little bit strange. Because usually when I need to use the cooling ritual, like the Esper player will already have a lot of cards in hand, so it's very likely for them to counter it instead of the dismember that I can do on turn 1, you know. But in the other hand, if you dismember their frog, they just dump out their hand on the graveyard and you just lose the game to a giant frog. But it's tough because you need dismember for the mono red stomp matchup. So and the mono black too. So you kind of need to use the Culling Hito in this matchup.
In the right hand,
You could keep the bubbles to protect the Culling Hito. I think that's fine. But like, I don't know. If you do that, what are you taking out of the deck to put the Culling Hito in the deck? You know? I like my deck to be consistent. So I would have to cut out like the rambles or some shit like that. I want all my ice too. I want the microspawn, I want the war zones. I think the right decision is like leaving 2 bubbles or 3 bubbles and like cut maybe the demonic tutor
there's more to
and
learn
the
elsewhere.
one ramble, something like that. But you definitely don't want 4 bubbles. is too much, I think. I don't actually know if they like cut the force of negations too in this matchup, but I think it's a very good card because it counters the important cards, which are the Cunning Ritual, Exploration, the Crop Rotation, but usually I'm gonna Crop Rotation in their turn, but sometimes I need to Crop Rotation on my turn. So I can like Crop Rotation for an Ancient Tomb and play the Warzone. So now we have nothing going on. And unfortunately I'm gonna have to use this Strip Mine. But I would like to have a Bassin C in play before using it, but I don't have it. So I could either sandbag it or use it, and I decided to use it. I don't know if it was the right decision, actually. She has so many lanes already. Yeah, and I would have drilled the crop rotation. Huh. So I could have like... Holy shit. I could have not used the strip mine and draw the crop rotation. Crop rotation for Bassin C in her turn, and then strip mine every turn with Bassin C. Yeah. I didn't remember that. Yeah. I think it was right to send back the strip mine, holy shit. But like, it's a tough decision because you could never draw the crop rotation too. Yeah, now the game is rough. That's the downside of running like only removal in your deck. Like I'm not running only removal, I'm running 5. But if they kill all your threats and you have some removal, I don't know, they are better draw deck than I am, so I usually prefer to try to make my engine as fast as possible. I mean, I prefer to have no removal and creatures in play than have removal, you know, that's what I'm trying to say in this matchup. Now I drew the Ice 2, so I can at least do a strip mine here, if she doesn't have the counter magic.
Curious. I must investigate this rule further.
Yeah, now this Lurus is a problem. So now I can like Demonic Tutor for Tespin stage. But I don't know if that's a good play. No, yeah, I'm just gonna get ICU, of course. I mean, I don't know. She has cast 2 prismatic ending already. And she has a strip mine. So I need to do in my turn. If I have decided to go for the stage. Yeah, so now I gotta hope that she doesn't draw
I'll
white
aid you.
to remove my ice steel from the game. I thought Blast Zone was more important than double strip mine.
I am
But she
not
has a strip mine too,
defenseless.
so maybe double strip mine was better. Yeah, and that's why I I got the Blast Zone instead of double strip mine. But yeah, she has the strip mine, so I don't know if it was the right decision. Because she gotta respect maybe she gotta respect the Dark Depth stage
Oh,
too.
this is one of my favorites.
Yeah, she decided not to use the strip mine on the Blast Zone. Yeah, I remember that now. I decided to not use Blast Zone because I need to kill the frog. But yeah, she has the strip mine. But I need her to do a misplay. Or else I think I just dead.
Silence is not the answer.
Yeah, I actually, yeah, I used the Blast Zone. I used 2 counters on the Blast Zone to try to put the Lohus, not the frog. But yeah, she has the strip mine. And now I'm dead. That was a cute draw, the View of Summer. It's not that good, I guess. I mean, I think it's better than Bubble, but unfortunately they have Swords to Power as removal. So yes, you can protect yourself from counter magic if you are like doing a sweeper, like a Culling Ritual, which is very good, but you cannot protect your creatures from removal. But it's still a very good card, actually. I think it is a very good card in the meta right now with the mono black scam. And yeah, it is good against Esper Temple too. But I think Toxis is better. against Necro Reanimator. Because if they grief turn 1 you and you do a View of Summer, they can just like sacrifice and combo. Anyway. So yeah, it is good in the matchup, but Seize is better. Because the match is so fucking fast that you need to disrupt them, not protect yourself on turn 1. I mean. So here we have a great hand. If they don't remove my War Zone, they are in a really bad shape. Sometimes this lanes deck has some stupid hands like this one. And like, yes, you only have 4 explorations, but you have like crop rotation to get Ancient Tomb or Strip Mine, so the deck's very consistent actually. I decided to play the Strip Mine because, yes, because of I want the Strip Mine in play as fast as possible before she can remove the exploration, because I need Strip Mine and Ancient Tomb for the next turn. And it paid off. So now that she didn't have removal from our zone, like, it's really hard for her to come back in the game. It was an insane start. GG's. So we are up against the Jeskai Energy deck again. I like this matchup. I think it's good for us. Even better than Mardu, I would say. Maybe. I don't know, actually. I think the worst one of the 3 are maybe Boros. But yeah, before the Toxic Deluge and the Demonic Tutor, this was not a good matchup. This was actually a little bad. But in game 2 and game 3, I think I was favored, but it was very bad on game 1. It was very bad. But now life is good. Now I have 2 Toxic Deluges and the Tutor. And the Toxic Deluge is so good in this deck, because your creatures, they are so big. Like, if you do Warzone turn 2, and you Toxic Deluge like turn 4, Warzone is already 5/5. So now we can like crop rotation for Tomb and play Microspawn. Or we can crop rotation for Strip Mine, play Strip Mine and play Ramble. Both are good plays. But the one that gives me more Strip Mine for the long game is playing Rumble first, actually. But if I do that, I need to find a land, or else I cannot play my other cards. Yay, we find a tomb. But we can like play bubble with the forest and not use the crop rotation. Oh yeah, we have the token for mana. Yeah, we have a lot of mana anyway. Yeah, I think, yeah, maybe Bubble is better. Actually, I don't know which is better. Ancient Tomb would be good too. We will not be able to play Warzone anyway because if we play Tomb, we would not have played the forest. But yeah, now that they removed my shaman, I cannot play Micro Spell, but I can play Warzone. And if I draw a land, I can double strip. Or I can just draw the strip too, that works. Yeah, here I don't see reason why to play Micro Spell. Just play Warzone, it's not gonna die. So, because they don't have land, untap it. So now I have a lot of strip mines. I have that one, and I have the Micro Spell one, and I can crop rotation another one. But yeah, I should crop rotation for Blast Zone, I think. Or Micro Spell for Blast Zone. And I never let them have two lands in play. And like they have the pride, so I cannot take too long to use the Blast Zone to kill the pride. Because the tokens, they are 0 mana, they are not 1 mana. Holy shit, I actually decided to... Ah, I remember, yeah. Holy shit. I really did not want for them to have 2 mana, holy shit. But I think that's actually correct. I wanna keep them on 1 mana. Yeah, now I can play Micro Spell with Strip Mine. Or I can just Strip Mine. Yeah, decide to. Like, if I Strip Mine then, and then have removal for my Warzone, it's kind of very bad. Yeah, I think it was very good, the Bojuka Bog on my own grave to stop them from developing. Even though I lose a crop rotation, which is very good because I could have like crop rotation for Blast Zone. Because like they still have the Shaman, so can they use the Shaman to play something now? Which they did. But like they don't have mana anymore because of that, and they didn't play a 2-drop like they would have in the last turn. I could like strip mine myself to play Bojuka Bog to remove a graveyard from the game, but I don't know. I don't think it's a good play right now. I think they still have lands in grave, so I need to remove like my grave and their grave. I would maybe have done that if I had like Ice Steel instead of War Zone. Yeah, now unfortunately we don't have bubble anymore. And they play the dinosaur. We had to crack the bubble to see if we draw some action. Holy shit, we have Tox Deluge now. That's the best draw possible, I think. I actually should have like removed 2 counters from that. And then... Oh, actually... Yeah. I could have removed 1 more counter from that, but yeah, anyway. The Tox Deluge was rough. They have, I think, 2 artifacts to remove my grave, so like Force of Vigor, it is kind of good actually. I mean, good is a strong word. Maybe it's a necessary evil, a better expression. But yeah, Kanihito is great. I don't like the bubbles. Now I like can bring 2 Force of Vigors, or bring 2 Dismembers, or just 1 Dismember, yeah. Yeah, I agree with Taxi. I think we need more updates on Timeless. I think Mono Black Reanimate is too good. I don't know about energy. And like, I don't think they need to restrict something from that deck. And of course, Strip Mine. He was talking about Strip Mine. Yeah, but Strip Mine, I think they should restrict Strip Mine and print Wasteland. I think that would be very good. Very, very good. Like, if you wanna play Strip Mine, you need to tutor for it. Or get lucky. I think it would be right. But I was saying, I don't think they need to necessarily like restrict a card from Necro Animator. They could print more cards. Like they could print Caracas. I don't know if it would be enough, but at least for my deck it would be maybe a good matchup now with Caracas. Of course, Force of Will would be the best card that they could print. It's very hard to beat that deck now because they have so many combo ways. Like they can combo with the grave, they can combo with an enchantment on a later turn, or like they can combo with a show and tell, so Ring and Lenda. So like, yeah, flute is very good, but you need to play the flute. Sometimes they combo before you can play the flute, which is tough. So if we had Caracas, we could like, even if they combo turn 1, like Traxa turn 1, we could have Caracas to remove it. that matchup is very play draw dependent. I don't know, maybe I'm crying too much, but I think the deck's too good right now. And I think the play patterns of the deck is not the best play patterns. It's not bad as like oops all spells in Legacy. But yeah, that's my opinion. And yeah, I talk about Caracas, but yeah, I could play white and have swords to plowshares, but I don't know, I don't like that idea. It would make this matchup better, but would make all other matchups worse. So I don't think it's worth it. I don't know. Maybe Esper Control would be better, but yeah. I think we need Mox Diamond if you wanna play double white cards in this deck. We have so many lanes that don't produce colors. It's tough. Yeah, Mox Diamond would be a busted card for this deck. Maybe too strong. I don't think... Yeah, I don't know if it would be too strong. Because like, other decks have Chromox, right? Why can't we have Mox Diamond? Chromox usually is better than Mox Diamond. But yeah, like turn 1 Tomb, Mox Diamond, Warizon. It's not even good because you don't have a land to get back. But yeah, you can do like Forest, Crop Rotation, Mox Diamond. What the fuck am I talking about? You have the land because you discard the land with the Mox Diamond. So yeah, it is insane. Yeah. You like Ancient Tomb, Mox Diamond, discard a Strip Mine, and then you get play the Horizon and get the Strip Mine again. It's insane actually. Yeah, if they print Mox Diamond on Arena, I think they need to restrict Strip Mine. It's too absurd. Yeah, sorry, I was not paying attention to the game. But yeah, this was a good hand. Very tough for Saxi to beat us with this hand. I'm actually very hungry right now. Yesterday I had Burger King, and the day before I had Burger King too. I cannot like eat 2 times Burger King in the week. It's too much. It's like at maximum once per week. But I found some discounts and I could not resist it. So anyway, we are playing against Muxus and we are playing on the top 4 now. He's playing Necro Reanimator. We go first, so we need to mulligan until we find a bubble because this is what the matchup is about. And even though we might just lose, it is what it is. Like, we need a bubble or a god hand, you know? Yeah, we find a bubble. And this hand is kind of okay. We could, like, just play bubble and go for the combo and pray. Or we could drop the combo and play Ice Steel on turn 3. Yeah, I decided to go for the Ice Steel route. Yeah, like That's tough. Because he knows I'm gonna mulligan until I have a bubble. So can like mulligan until they have a good hand against bubble. That's why I don't know. How good is bubble in this matchup? It is better in game 2 and 3, I think, because you have more disruption. You don't have just bubble, but it's tough. It's very tough. I think to improve this matchup, you gotta like have 4 C's on the main deck. But if you have 4 C's on the main deck, holy shit, you're losing any other matchup, I think. C's is so bad. Like C's against energy, holy shit. You're just dying so fast. You lose so much life with Ancient Tomb. You could maybe main deck the Inquisition of Kozilek instead of the bubbles, but I don't know. Yeah, maybe this is the way to go actually. But then you are losing to Affinity. And I don't want to lose to Affinity. I want to have a chance in that matchup. Yeah. I want these cards against Necro Reanimator, but I want the bubbles for Mono Red, Mono Black, and Affinity. So I actually don't know what to do right now. I even was thinking about playing white to improve the Necro Reanimator matchup. But like, even with white, I can just lose that matchup too. If they do a turn 1 Elenda and I don't have a mana untapped, I can just lose the game anyway, even with Swords to Plowshares in my deck. So yeah, I'm kind of, I don't know what to do anymore. I mean, last tournament we won against Necro Reanimator twice, but in this tournament we lose twice, and like, and I'm losing a lot in the latter too against Mono Black Reanimator. I don't know if I'm getting unlucky or if my sideboard is incorrect. I was testing Torpor Orb instead of the Thorn. I don't think Thorn is that... I don't know. Thorn is good, but... like, you turn 1 Thorn them. It's really hard for them to win the game, I think. But maybe with Disruptor Flute on the deck, maybe Seize is better. So here we have Force of Vigor, which can kill Necropotence, which is the dream, actually. We can do the Desperate play to play Force of Vigor to kill their Chromox before the Chromox prints too. But yeah, we have the bubble, so we actually cannot even play the Force of Vigor. We need to wait. Yeah, Bubble stops Chromox, Grief Sacrifice, Elenda, and Beseech the Mirror. It's a lot of cards, actually. They cannot like always mulligan until they have a combo that can combo with Bubble in play. So yeah, Bubble is not bad. It's good in the matchup, but like I said, sometimes you play Bubble turn 1 and you just lose anyway. I don't wanna use my crop rotation for Ancient Tomb because I want to save it if they have Entomb reanimate, right? And maybe I want to crack the bubble if they do the Necropotence, which they didn't last turn, so they probably don't have it. Here, I think I want the Surveil land in the grave instead of the forest. I I should have put the test page in the grave. Actually, it was a misplay. I realized that when I clicked in the keep, and maybe I should have not played the Surveil land in the last turn. Maybe I should just leave mana up if I need to crack the bubble and Force of Vigor. But I mean, I would have to exile my Ice too. So yeah, I think I should have played the Surveil. It's okay, but I should have Graveyard the testament stage. It makes no sense to leave in the top. I wonder if it is right to have one Toxic Deluge in the in the deck, or two, because you can like Demonic Tutor for Toxic Deluge and kill the lander, but I mean, I don't know. It seems it's like I don't see that happening a lot, you know. Because if they do it on turn 1, you just don't have time to do it. If they do it like on turn 2, you still like have little time to do it. You know, Demonic Tutor for Deluge. We have Force of Vigor, so if they have Necro Dominance, we can kill it, which is great. We have the option to do the Desperate play to kill the Chromox too, which is very bad, but sometimes necessary, unfortunately. And there is the Chromox. I think it is right to kill the Chromox here. They can like entomb reanimate, or like, I don't know. They can have Dark Hito, Demonic Tutor. Anyway. I think it's very likely for them to have Entomb Reanimator here. They would need like 2 Chromox if they wanna play the Necrodominus. Or they could like land Chromox, Dark Hito, Besiege for Soaring and just win. So yeah, I think it's always right to like just fast off Vigor the Chromox. But it is a really bad play, but I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do to try to win this matchup. And now like we have nothing going on because they discard our crop rotation. I don't even remember what we exiled for the Force of Vigor, but we have like just a fucking flute. Which is not a good spot. Like, we want a threat and some disruption. Like, disruption on turn 1 and a threat on turn 2 or 3, you know? So now we drew the Warzone, but like, if I just play flute on last turn, namely Soaring, I don't like to play flute blindly in this matchup. I like to like wait for them, because sometimes you gotta name Reanimate. And sometimes they like besiege for Necropotence, and then you just win with flute. But yeah, they know I have flute, they wouldn't do that. So now I can play Warzone with flute backup, and the game seems great, but we don't have Strip Mine yet, which is very bad. So they use it reanimate, so now I can use the flute to name Sorry. I mean, I need to use flute to name Sorry. It's tough, because like, I could have played this flute way back ago and named Sorry, but if they have Entomb in hand, they would have just won the game now. They could Entomb for Atraxa or even Elenda. And now that they use this deck ritual, I mean, it got me by surprise. I didn't know what to name anymore.